It is the greatest sport ever made. And a lot of people like to argue that it's not really a sport because it looks really pathetic,
Mm.
but it's a ton of fun. And all you got to do is actually try it. And you're like, oh man, this is really cool.
I'm here with Lishy Nutter.
And today we're talking
Pickleball.
with friends who love to give each other the business.
Nutter, what is this game? This balls of pickles?
So pickleball is
Mhm.
basically a cross between tennis and ping pong. So ping pong, because you got the paddle, it's similar to a ping pong paddle. You're hitting a wiffle ball. The feel of hitting a wiffle ball is not super dissimilar to hitting a ping pong ball because it's hollow and light, but you're playing on a court, not a table. It's about half the size of a tennis court, and you're playing with two people. It's much more approachable because you don't have to be as athletic to play as you do with tennis, but it still has a high skill cap or like high ceiling for how advanced you can go. And yeah, you just hit a ball back and forth over a net. It's a very short net, about the size of a tennis net. If the ball bounces twice or goes out, it's the other team's point.
So it does have to bounce once, like in your tennis.
It doesn't have to bounce, but it can. So you can volley out of the air.
Yeah, just like tennis. Tennis, you can do that as well.
Just like tennis. I forget though, with tennis, are the rules where the ball can touch the line or can't touch the line? Are lines out in tennis or are they in?
I think it depends on how loud you want to yell at the ref.
Lines are in.
Lines are in. Okay, yeah. So lines are in with pickleball as well. The only difference is, so pickleball has a fancy area called the kitchen, which tennis does not have. So the kitchen, you don't want to cook in the kitchen. You got to get out of the kitchen, right? Yeah, exactly. And so the kitchen is a 7 foot, I believe. Is it 7 foot? Anyways, it's some amount of distance away from the net on either side, and you cannot hit the ball out of the air while touching the kitchen. So like you can't have your foot on the kitchen line. You can't be touching that kitchen and hit the ball out of the air. It has to bounce first before you can be in that zone. And that's so that you don't just stand really close to the net and slam the ball back, right in front of the net.
You can't volleyball.
You can't volleyball with a 3 foot net, no. But as soon as the ball bounces, so for example, if the ball just barely goes over the net and bounces, you can be up there all day, get it going. But yeah, if the ball touches the kitchen line on a serve, though, it's out. Otherwise, the lines are in.
It's really fun, Bone.
It's super fun.
And
people like to make fun of it because
where I live, a lot of old people play it.
That's kind of where how it started catching on at first, and then younger people started playing and realizing, oh, there's a lot to this game. You can really push because people think that you don't have to be athletic to play, but it doesn't mean that being athletic doesn't help, right? So just because it's accessible doesn't mean that someone who can sprint across the court instantly and do crazy shit isn't going to have a better time or a bigger advantage playing the game. And so some of the pros do some really cool stuff.
They have pros in wiffle ball.
Pickleball, yeah. No, yeah, it's the PPA, dog. PPA, pickleball, PA.
No, pickleball, America.
Oh man, here I want to find a clip. I'll send to you so you can understand just how cool it gets.
And by cool, you mean
lame?
I love it though. It's really fun.
You play the pickleballs, Lishy? Is that what you're saying?
I pickled a ball or two, yeah. The guy I was playing with, he's like 67. He was backpedaling and went ass over tea kettle, and now he won't play anymore.
Oh.
If I score a point, because I'm like, yeah, in your face, because the guy I was playing was like way too into it. There were like these two altacockers and this one like Russian guy with special socks that he folds up a certain way, and those sleeves that are for like, you ever see those sleeves? They're like pantyhose they put on your arm. Football players wear. It's like this guy was kitted out to the max. I'm layering my jeans.
When you play this pickle of the balls, Nutter, do you guys have a league?
So I started playing in a gym, just like open play at a rec center. Mm-hmm. And that was when I learned how to play. And then there's a park around the corner that I heard people would go play at. And I just kind of randomly fell into this community who plays every day at 8 a.m. at this park. So I play with this group of people at 8 a.m. as many days as I can without my body falling apart because, my shoulder is about to come apart. My knee feels like it's going to give out any day now. So I got to kind of take it easy. I did break my foot last year playing. I broke my foot. It was actually a really nasty injury. It was almost, so it was a Liz Frank fracture. So your foot snaps like that. I just barely missed having to have surgery. If it was more dislocated, I would have had to bolt everything back together. Yeah, so people break hips and all sorts of stuff all the time, so it can be very dangerous.
I mean, you're playing on a tennis court, so yeah, you can definitely.
Even though it's a smaller space, it's very quick. Like the pace of play is very fast, and there's a lot of jumping, a lot of lunging, some diving if you really want to get into that. But even though the court surface will scrape your ass up. But yeah, then to your point, to leagues and stuff and tournaments, there are leagues and tournaments. There's a facility that I have a membership to. I got my ass kicked my last tournament really, really bad. I got pickled in a game. You never want to get pickled in pickleball. Getting pickled in pickleball is bad.
Is that like being skunked?
Yeah, probably. You get 11-0. 11-0. Yep, it's called pickle.
Yeah, 11-0.
What does being pickled mean?
Getting beaten 11-0. The scoring system goes: the ball bounces twice or goes out. It's the other team's point. You only score on a serve, and you get 2 serves. Or you serve until you miss. It's kind of like 2 strikes, right? So each person on each side, because it's 2 versus 2, each person is going to get their turn to serve until they miss. And then it will be a side out, goes to the other team, and then each person gets their turn of serving until they miss a point. And then you play 2-11, win by 2. I have a video of me playing. There's a little bit of an action shot. It's a short point. I'll send it over to you, but it has me going up and jumping back for an overhead. It was a video clip, a short video clip of my last tournament where we lost. Our record was 1-5. But it was a very close tournament. We lost to the team who won it all 12-10. So they were all close games, except for when we got pickled.
Well, isn't that 1 win, 5 losses is not close?
No, well, the scores were close in the game. We lost the game. We lost almost all the games, but the scores in the games were close, and we were winning half the games. We just kind of crumbled. I'm not very good under pressure. I found pickleball has taught me that I crack under pressure. I'll be up 10-3 and lose. It teaches you to look really deep inside yourself and kind of find out, those flaws that you don't want to admit to yourself, and they just kind of shine through. And then it allows you to, pursue becoming a better person through that awareness. It's taught me a lot.
So it could also be called enlightenment ball.
Exactly. Yep. Wisdom ball.
Or make up a bunch of bullshit about it ball.
Yeah.
I'm just
seriously. He's giving me the business.
It's just another suggestion. I don't know why.
No, seriously though, pickleball has done a wonder for my life. I started playing March of last year, and I needed a hobby bad. I don't have any friends in Chicagoland. It turns out making friends as an adult is really hard. It became a social thing for me to do. I wanted to be active because I was at a gym, hating it, going once or twice a week, miserable the whole time, just hated my time there. And then I started playing pickleball, and I was like, fuck the gym. So and I lost like 40 pounds last year playing pickleball. Now I have like the community aspect of it where I go out, talk to people, get to know them. Just because it's a very social game. The way you play, you don't just go out with your friends and play you can, but that's kind of lame. Part of the whole pickleball community thing is you paddle up. So you go out to a park, and they usually have a racking system, and you put your paddle up, and then they just rotate through. The next 4 people get a court. You play the game, you come off, and then they cycle through the courts as people just put their paddles up and play. And so you kind of organically get to know people by shuffling through and playing with random different people. But it also does lead to a lot of fights. Some people take pickleball way too seriously. There were 2 throwdowns last week at the courts, and now one of our regulars won't come anymore because he literally got in a fist fight with a guy.
What are you at 95th and Western?
No, dude, up in Arlington Heights, dude. Pickleball's serious over here, bro. Honestly, man, there's not many things that white people fight about, but pickleball is definitely on that list, that short list. This one guy, the whole, everybody was saying that his ATP. So ATP is a terminology for around the post. It's a very sweet shot. If you hit one in pickleball, you feel really good about yourself. But anyways, he thought he hit an ATP, but it was out. And we were all saying it was out, and it turned into a huge argument. And he started calling my partner a bitch, and we got off the court, and he was telling me to kiss his ass and all sorts. It was just really fucking. Oh man, I thought I was gonna get to go to fisticuffs, but then there was 2 days later with a different guy. Apparently, there was a fist fight, just arguing over points and shit. So it gets hot. And these are all 60-year-old people for the most part.
There's no ref. It's just you guys just call it yourselves.
No, and it can get really frustrating because some people are really bad at calling it. So the typical way it's played is that the team calls their own ball if it's on your side of the court. So say you hit the ball to the other side of the court, The receiving team calls if it's in or out. If they want to call it out, they just call out. It's their call. They get to call it. But there's some pretty egregious ones. You really just have to say, well, we're not really playing for anything, so fuck it. It's your
Isn't
call.
that like having the mouse watch over the cheese factory? Like the people, it's on my side, I get to call it?
Yeah. It is. The idea is, it's like an honor system type thing. But you're not playing for anything real, so it's just kind of like, well, if you're going to be that way. And that was another fight that I saw last year where a guy was calling bullshit out that wasn't out, and like people were like, we're not playing with you anymore, man. What frustrates me is that I am one of the younger people there. I have very good eyesight. I can see the ball completely clearly, even when it's coming really fast. And these old people who are clearly calling the ball wrong will argue with me about calls, even when it's my call. Today I had this old lady who I watched call a ball out that wasn't out by a mile, and I just let it go. And she was on my team. And I was like, whatever. I'm not going to argue with her. And then it was my call on a ball, and I called it out. And she said, nope, I saw it was in. And I'm just sitting here like, I want to be like, bitch, it's my call. Why are you doing this? But anyways, so it can get kind of frustrating.
Have you ever wanted to steal someone else's paddle? Because some of these paddles are expensive, aren't they?
That's why I'm broke. I spent all my money for my job buying paddles.
How much are these paddles?
A good one's anywhere from like 120 to 260.
Really? Because I bought 2 of them for $10 at Target.
And they're not good.
Nice.
So I have tallied our votes, and feel free to write in the comments section who you think is never right in this episode.
So yeah, and they play shirts and skins.
And you have to chest bump after. So it started out with a paddle tap at the end where you say good game, but now actually you just all you rub chests with each other.
Ooh.
Yeah. So if you ever play, make sure you go out there and you rub chests. I'm ready for the pickleball. I'm ready for the pickleball.
You're never right. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you want more content from the Never Right podcast.